How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. We finally have BT8 matches. So at the start, these will not be tournament matches. These are just like fun games that we're playing and practicing decks between friends. I'm gonna try and show you guys a variety of decks. I only have 2 decks built right now though, so for now you'll just see me play a lot of MetalGaruru and Creepymon. But as I get more cards and more decks, we'll definitely get a good variety. So this is the BT1 MetalGaruru deck, which I've definitely talked about in the past. I'll probably do a deck profile in the future. We're actually off to a horrendous start, although I guess in Kilo it's only 4 to play into. We have to go into a Shakumon without getting the Jogress, which is not amazing, but hey, I mean, Recovery 1 is still good enough, right? Shakumon is actually such a crazy card. My opponent is playing a Creepymon hybrid variant, so it's pretty interesting stuff because I think Creepymon is a really good card in general, and it's cool to see how different people are trying to use them and adapt them to different decks. So the Shakumon swings, and then because of the inheritable, we actually get a full clear. I feel like, cards like Pokemon are just gonna die for free in BT8. So definitely gotta be careful with, leaving those around. We go into a Metal to pass turn. This is not the greatest Metal as he only has 1 thing he can summon. But, clearly from the play that I've been doing, my hand has not been amazing. And I suppose it's good enough, right? It'll at least give me an extra champion to work with. As you can see, he plays quite a bit of Tamers. There is like some true shenanigans as well. And we're gonna swing, summon the Ankilo, get the memory for the Bukamon. Bukamon is my boy. He's so good. Doesn't care which stack it is, you just get that 1 memory, which is super nice. We hit into a Mimi, which is honestly not the worst. It is kind of annoying though. The new Angemon is such a fantastic card. I absolutely love this Digimon. We swing and survive, so maybe a bit greedy there, but we can Jogress into a Chimeramon for 0. And now this Chimeramon has, a ton of sources, and this is where like the Metal and the Leopards can shine. I wonder if we're going to swing at security, being very aggressive. And just go into a Leopard. So the reason Leopardmon is super cool, also I gotta say that the Bukamon triggers again because Chimeramon's a brand new Digimon, right? So any once per turn effects sort of reset in a way. So Leopardmon is really cool in this deck because, he summons Digimon from the stack, which we want to do for Jogress. But he gives out level 4 and lower Digimon jamming, which is really cool because you can then just swing with your champions knowing that they're going to survive, and then Jogress into a new Digimon for a new swing, right? Like, oftentimes you want to do those plays, but like your champion is just not going to live. The classic Rihi shenanigans, pretty good. Retaliation, gets the clear, gets the mat, the memory. Definitely pretty solid plays. I think that Churumon is still kind of cool. It's definitely cool, and I'm curious to see what people do with it. As we go into BT8 format, everyone wants to try the new exciting stuff for sure, but sometimes like some old decks with new cards can end up being pretty solid. And Creepymon, like I was saying, I think it's a pretty solid card. There's definitely a lot you could do with it, so I'm curious to see how people are gonna end up building it. I feel like I've seen a good amount of variations, so as the meta and the set develops, I'll have to keep a look on the Creepymon. I definitely want to try build myself, but I just don't know exactly, what I want to do with it. Also note that while Scatter Mode is still an amazing card, without Icemon at 4, it's just infinitely worse in a way. Gonna pass with Gassi, but like I said, these Digimon, they just kind of end up being answered for free. There's just so many ways to clear rookies, basically. We have 3 memory to work with. Leopardmon, again, Angemon can swing with Jammin'. Now, obviously the Metal is still better, right? It's the best level 6 for this type of deck. But aside from that, there is Leopardmon puts in work. You can also technically play any yellow level 6, although it's a bit more inconsistent, but it is a possibility. So we did not have a rookie, but we can Ice Wall to make his turn super awkward, and at least end with a Davis, so that next turn we can, have memory to work with. We have a rookie, and we should be in a good spot. So he has memory to work with. He can swing with the Icemon because of, he can, but because of the Icemon, it would pass too much, right? So I'm gonna just Call from Darkness and then do is draw these cards. So in this case, what I would say is make sure you order or sequence your effects properly. So when you play Call from Darkness, you have to fully resolve Call from Darkness before anything else happens, right? So just keep those things in mind. But the classic call on the scatter mode, get a bunch of draw on discard. He does get the one-off Eismon. I mean, at this point, I think it's kind of expected, right? Like, he's seen so many cards in his deck, it's gonna be there. But because you don't have multiple Eismons, like, it is definitely a lot different the way that purple plays. With multiple Eismons, like, Creepymon would have been maybe super broken for them. And there's other things that are, you know, care about that, I suppose. So you can see he can go into the reheat for 1, then go into the Creepymon. Creepymon's doing his thing, gonna summon the Chaos Luce, which is pretty good. But we swing, and then we have Hybrid for game. So that game we had a kind of an awkward start, but I think that game showed the good power from the inheritables. It's actually pretty crazy because like we're playing a blue deck, but now we have deeper reduction and healing, you know, which like these are like things that yellow is used to, but we're still very much a blue deck with blue shenanigans. It feels kind of nice. Sometimes it feels kind of unfair. We're going to a Garuru in the back. Digimon into Creepymon, just like that. Is, you know, not the greatest play, but sometimes you have to. Double scatter mode swings and they both survive. That's kind of annoying to say the least. We're gonna just set up some tamers. We're definitely gonna have to clear some of these. We can go into the metal. So you can see, you know, our main combo, metal swings. We get the restand, gain 2 memory because of it. And then we can swing and get another body, right? As you can see, like pretty solid stuff. And we could, you know, with the extra memory, Digimon into another champion, get more Jogress technology. Pretty good stuff overall. We gotta figure out, you know, what he wants to draw and discard. So like now he's back, or I guess the deck is back to a purple base, right? But you can still play some yellow rookies. I don't know if they're playing things like Bushi, but Luisthepanda is there for sure. I mean, there's Luce and Chaos Luce, so I guess that sort of makes sense, right? So in this game, we're using the MetalGaruru to just fully clear the board. So the first metal stack is like okay. It's the second stack that becomes insane because you can get a stack with metal that has 2 chambers under it. So we Digimon into a Garurumon. Now we can't go into Shakumon because Shakumon requires yellow specifically. Our deck does play a good amount of yellows. I mean, we have 4 Ankylith and 4 Angemon, so we definitely get there. Especially because of the fact that we can reuse them from, you know, the Metal and Leopardmon. So at this point, I guess we kind of just go wide. We took a bunch of damage early on, and I might not have the best setup, so going wide seems like a pretty solid strategy. He goes into the Rihi, but I don't know how much you can get out of it. Like with only 1 Tamer, if he goes into a Cherubi, it would only pop 1, which is not that great. A Creepymon would make me mill a lot, but it's actually forced to go into a Nidhogg, which definitely hurts. It's less than ideal. He does at least pop 1 of my Garurumons, which is gonna slow me down a little bit. But because we had hard played that Beamon, you know, if we have a level 4, we can definitely still do more Jogress shenanigans. We haven't pushed any damage yet, and we took again chip damage, but our board I'd say is definitely better. I guess we both have level 6, Tamer, and like other bodies, but my level 6 is way better. We go into a Bond of Friendship. I mean, I just play because a good level 5 or level 7. Surprisingly good. He's just hard to be dealt with, and you know, extra swing can come in clutch. And I guess at this point, like everything's just swinging. Everything is just swinging. So we get quite a bunch of damage this turn. Pendulum Flame is like Trump's run security. It only answers Digimon that are unsuspended. That card is interesting because like it has a very good security effect, but like I don't think the main effect is actually good. So like, does that make it a good card? I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's interesting. They always give purple such wacky options. But yeah, we end up just going super wide. I feel like the Bond of Friendship is not going to be able to be answered, which is, you know, 2 swings next turn, and you can also clean up the board. He didn't have a Koichi to just go straight into like Retaliation, so I guess he could go like low way into Kaiser Leo to get the clear, but that's going to cost a lot of memory. Yeah, gonna get the draw on the discard. Nidhogg can at least clear the Garuru, but right now the Bond of Friendship is just too strong. He does get memory back from the call and the analogs, you know, pretty solid there. Like again, like we still have the very basic but very powerful purple cards, right? Like sure, you can have Iceman at 4, but like everything else is still there. A lot of the old shenanigans still work, right? So I think there's definitely ways to make those decks still function. And I'm curious to see, you know, how purple's gonna look. So he's got a little bit of memory to work with, but it's just not gonna be enough, right? And again, that doesn't have Retaliation. He doesn't really have with clear. The Creepymon is not going to summon because I only have one body. And even if he did, the Chaos Boost one actually does not clear level 7s. So that's going to be game. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll definitely have more BT8 games coming. Thanks for watching.